white people are trash. I hear this phrase a lot because of the work that I do. Do I agree? Hi, I'm Angela. I'm a professor and I wrote a book on slavery. So, white people are trash. Do I agree? Well, historically speaking, white people are responsible for most of the nation's, dare I say, the world's systemic problems. Now, I don't like to call people trash, but it's pretty trashy historic behavior. And because of this history, I, as a person who looks like this, have a greater ability to do wrong before the hammer of justice comes down on me, if it ever does. And that is a type of privilege. That's what that is. And that is a type of privilege. That's what that is. What that means is that I've spotted in my work, my personal life, my everyday public life, that I could, if I wanted to, behave reprehensibly and amorally and make selfish decisions that harm others, and probably get away with it for a really long time before anyone with power has the inclination to stop me. And that realization is really scary, right? Because the safety and prosperity of Black and brown people around me shouldn't have to depend on whether or not I value being a good person, right? The ability of the Black and brown people around me and around us as white people shouldn't depend on whether or not we whites want to play fairly. Because let's be real, a lot of us don't want to play fairly, and a lot more of us don't want to think about it or acknowledge it because it makes us feel uncomfortable. And we have the right to ignore our discomfort. And those two groups of white people, the ones who don't want to play fairly and the ones who don't want to think or talk about it because it makes them uncomfortable, that makes up a significant portion of us. The trashy portion, some might argue, and because of this, right, all of this, sorry, and all of this is called a systemic problem, right? I can work on and fix myself so that I don't purposely or accidentally take advantage of my whiteness to get ahead, or worse, to harm someone. I mostly have control over myself, but I don't have as much control over the other white people who may or may not be trash. But you know what my best power is? It's knowing stuff. Anti-racist research shows us that racism is exacerbated by discriminatory policies and procedures. And we are an incredibly bureaucratic society, right? Everything has policies and procedures, and everything has a higher authority. There's always someone you can go to, right? So, think about universities, right? They have faculty governance and a provost, chancellor, or president. Transit has the Port Authority. Schools have school boards. Homes have HOAs or municipal government. Businesses have management and often corporate structures. Churches have hierarchies. And you know what authority loves? Whiteness, right? And that means that if you are white, you can make the phone calls, you can write the letters, you can volunteer on the boards to remove white preference or anti-Black and brown bias from every single structured part of your life. Just start with one and go from there. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.